What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB Recap. Framber Valdez is 1 out away from a no-no, but Corey Seager might have had other ideas in mind. We'll talk about that in a second. Jackson Holliday is now spamming base hits and home runs. Isaac Paredes and the Cubs, they're trying desperately to make the wild card. It's still weird to say that Isaac is a Cub. The Dodgers, they lost another key player. It's like their 87th health issue this year, and what in the world was that? This has to be AI. Like, this is computer generated. CJ Abrams hit a home run on a baseball 4.5 feet off the ground. You do not want to miss that. We'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB Recap. Let me get the e-begging out the way. Recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Save 20 bucks off all of your tickets using code Fuzzy. And if you guys like having fun, Underdog Fantasy is a lot of fun. When you download using my code Fuzzy, they'll match your first deposit up to $250 and they'll give you a free pick'em on me. Don't forget, use code Fuzzy, Underdog Fantasy. So like I mentioned in the intro, someone came 1 out away from a no-hitter, but there's no way we kickstart this recap without talking about the White Sox first, because they're on the verge of losing 21 games in a row, which honestly I feel like is harder than winning 21 games in a row. Anyway, Andrew Benintendi, he heard me talking all that crap about him, and he kind of took that personally. He's got 4 home runs and an almost 880 OPS over his last 19 games. Now the A's, they cut into the deficit on Gelof's 14th home run. He also has 14 stolen bases. Are the A's about to go back-to-back? Schumann to the track. Luis is there. He saves his rookie pitcher from at least a double. Doesn't Jonathan Cannon kind of look like a member from a Cobra Kai karate team? Like the hair, the look, everything like that. He's up 4-1 after Andrew Vaughn knocked in a run and Brooks Baldwin scored on a wild pitch. Cannon was fantastic. 6 frames, 5 strikeouts, just a 1 run off the bat of Zach Gelof. Lenyn Sosa, he put the cherry on top with an insurance RBI, and for the first time since July 10th, it was almost a full-blown month, they win a ball game, so they stay tied with the 1988 Orioles for an AL record of 21 L's in a row. There's still 50 games left, so maybe they go on another streak. I'm sorry, is that mean? Okay, let's go find the near no-hitter. Framber Valdez has already thrown once, so he was looking for his second career no-no. Jake Meyers knocked in Jeremy Pena twice in the first half of this game. There's his first one, and I couldn't believe my eyes seeing this graphic. Framber had 47 pitches through 5 no-hit frames. Jake Meyers, RBI number 2. Nice. Wait, hold on. It was 5 perfect frames. Bregman, he ruins the perfect game. He short-armed it, and Singleton couldn't pick it. Now, Bregman did make up for it a couple moments later with the double play. Framber, he didn't want any help with the final out in the 6th inning. He strikes out Ezekiel Duran. Now, there's the first walk out the hand of Framber Valdez, a borderline ball four call. He is not happy about that. We had a meeting on the mound to calm him down, and it worked as Josh Young, another strikeout victim. Now, I thought this next clip was pretty funny because Rangers manager Bruce Bochy had to switch it up. He went to the other side of the dugout. Baseball players are the most superstitious humans on planet Earth. Framber said, "I don't care where you're at. I'm going 8 no-hit innings, and thank goodness that Yordan Alvarez went yard. The big man connected for his 150th career home run that went 440 feet. Framber, I don't know if this was on purpose. He walked the lefty smasher Robbie Grossman. No worries, though. Maybe he knew that he was about to get a double play, and maybe he's just running out of gas. I don't know, because he walked Josh Smith on a sinker downstairs. It would have been strike 3, but of course, Josh Smith did not chase at it. Seager, he already ruined a no-hitter a couple years ago, 8 years ago, back in 2016. Matt Moore was 1 out away from a no-no, and this one was not a blooper. Off the bat, we all knew that the ball was gone and the no-no was over. Good thing that Yordan had that insurance 2-run home run, because Framber's out, Josh Hader's in. Josh walked Marcus Semien, so the tying run is now at the dish. Josh Young, he lifted one deep, but there's not enough juice behind it. The Astros beat the Rangers 4-2. The Mariners want to make sure that they don't lose any ground in the AL West. They really need Castillo to clutch up and turn in a beauty, and he did just that. A 96-mile-per-hour sinker with movement that is just unhittable. That's his 4th strikeout. Make it 5. He got Colt Keith to chase on the outside off-speed pitch. Now, I kind of lied a little bit. I said that Luis threw a beauty. He was still nasty, don't get me wrong. 9 strikeouts over 6 is still disgusting, but yeah, allowing 3 runs isn't great. Parker Meadows, Colt Keith, and Winsel Perez were all able to sneak RBI singles through the infield. So again, Luis was nasty, and he's still out there carving, but 3 was just way too many to overcome. Kiter Montero, and before we talk about Montero, Parker Meadows went way out. He could be a perennial 20 home run, 20 stolen base guy with great defense. He just has to find the consistency. He's only 24 years old. Bo Brisky, he got the first 2 outs in the 9th. When the Tigers controller died or something like that, the ball dropped. There was no communication. Polanco, he's handed a double on a silver platter, and now it's time for Mitch Garver to make it for his awful season and wipe away his sins and transgressions. aggressions. Oh no, the boos are raining down. Garver, he's now batting 166 with an insane 32% strikeout rate. He's been a complete bust for them. I feel bad because he's acknowledged recently how bad he's been. Tyler Holton gets his 4th save, and the Mariners have dropped 2 games in a row. They were held in check by Kiter Montero, who throws absolute gas on 85 pitches. He had 8 strikeouts over 6 innings. I'm not saying the Tiger staff is generational, but even after trading away a Jack Flaherty, they can still be pretty good. The streak is back on. Fuzzy, what are you talking about? Kershaw, for the first time in his career, the last time that we saw him, did not strike out a single batter. He got that out the way with Kyle Schwarber, the first batter that he faced. And now we have some history. Freddie Freeman just laced his 500th career double. He's the 6th player in the history of baseball to have 500 doubles and 300 home runs through their age 34 seasons. Hall of Fame plaque is going to be so dang cool. Kershaw, another future Hall of Famer, he was able to get Alec Boehm and then go 4 scoreless, but Schwarber, he got some payback with an RBI in the 5th inning. Kershaw's out after striking out 5. He just goes under 5 innings. He goes 4 2/3. Man, the Dodgers cannot catch a break. Brewster Gratterall, this was his first game after missing a lot of time with shoulder issues. He's now out with the leg issue. I'm praying that he's okay because the Dodgers cannot catch a break. They're literally cursed. I'll list them as Castellanos and Edmundo Sosa rip it open for the Phillies. I'll talk about their injuries. Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, Walker Buehler, Emmett Sheehan, Ryan Brazier, Blake Trinan, and Glasnow was on the shelf as well. Freddie missed 2 weeks to be with his family. I mean, that's not even all of their injuries. So guys like Teoscar Hernandez have been huge. Back-to-back games with the home run. He's got 25, but staying with back-to-back. The Phillies hit 2 in a row. Edmundo Sosa and Schwarber, they both got home runs to stay fair. They both go to right field. Schwarber, he's up to 24 home runs. Carlos Estevez, the newcomer, he gets the final 3 outs as the Phillies. They win the season series against the Dodgers. The Phillies also helped out the Padres in the process. San Diego was like that warning sign on your side mirrors in your car. The object in the mirror is closer than it appears. It was raining cats and dogs, and the grounds crew was just trying to make sure that they kept everything in check. They broke out the squeegees, and McCutchen was tweeting, I don't know what we're doing. This game should not be being played, but it eventually started, and Jackson Merrill, he laced a double right before David Peralta had a single somehow drop in no man's land. There's another base hit to center. Tyler Wade, he gets the single to fall, so it's 1-0 Padres. Profar, he was hit by a pitch. The bases are loaded for Donnie Barrels. It's not a slam Diego, but this game's not going to be very close. It's 2 more RBIs for Donovan Solano, an RBI for Xander Bogaerts. Bogey went the other way for another San Diego run. Manny is looking like 2013 Manny Machado. He won a platinum glove a couple years ago. Don't forget, this guy won a platinum glove back in the day. Solano, he had a bunch of 4s on the day. He drove in his 4th RBI on his 4th hit, so he had 2 RBIs on that final base hit. Jeremiah Estrada struck out 3 to end it, so they both powered the Padres to their 3rd win in a row, and they're now just 4 games back of first place. Let me know in the comments, do you think that the Padres can make the comeback and catch up to the Dodgers? We're about to talk about one of the most important series of the year so far, and it's happening down in Kaufman, and it's only really possible because of that 3rd wild card spot that was put into baseball a couple years ago. The lefties delivered for both squads. Vinny Pasquantino drove in Bobby Witt Jr. and David Hamilton. He hit a baseball 900 feet in the air, and it eventually landed for an RBI double. Rafaela, he did his job. He put the ball in play. That is an RBI groundout that stole the lead. And Masataka Yoshida will not stop golfing out extra base hits and home runs. Speaking of golfing out home runs, Michael Massey just went to the fountains, 435 feet. And I'm going a little bit quick, but there was a lot of action in this game. Vinny, he compounded the RBI extra base hits. Bobby scores again. The Sasquatch, he's out there doing his thing. This game is getting crazy. Dom Smith, he's off to the races on the wild pitch. He swam out the way. They overturned the call. They went to replay. Boston, they're back up a run. They retain their challenge, and Seth Lugo, he's out after 5 1/3. I will say, Lugo's been very good, but Boston owns him this year. Yoshida, the insurance runs for a huge 3 RBI game. He's batting .330 with 24 RBIs his last 27 games. The Royals, they made things interesting again. MJ Melendez, he knocked in 2. That's another clutch base hit in the final half of a game. Newcomer Luis Garcia had an awful night, but in steps Kenley Jansen, who was vintage Dodgers Kenley Jansen. 3 strikeouts for a 4-out save. He has 441 saves, so he's now ahead of Craig Kimbrell for the active lead. The Red Sox have won 3 in a row, and they're a half game back of the Royals for the 3rd spot in the wild card. Staying with teams a half game back, the Braves got bum rushed by the NL Central leading Brewers, so Atlanta falls to a half game back of Arizona in the wild card. Say what you want about the third wild card team, but I like that it incentivizes teams to add at the deadline, although a lot of people are saying we don't like it because it ruins the trade deadline because so many mediocre, I'll put that in air quotes, mediocre teams think that they're in it when they're not. I don't agree with that. By the way, I don't think Bryce Elder should be in the big leagues at the moment, but they kind of need him just to eat innings. Contreras, he got a free RBI triple because Soler ran into a wall, and honestly, if I was Jorge Soler and that big, I think I would challenge a wall as well. Willy Adames, his first of 2 moonshots, and Joey Ortiz, the rookie, he squeezed in an RBI right before Willie's second. Atlanta, they brought in the rapper Big Boy, who I used to listen to as a kid, and he had a great view for this home run. Willie went 415 feet for his second home run. He's got 19. Bryce Terang makes it 7-0, 9-0 after William again sliced one to right field. So he had 3 RBIs on a triple, a double. He is so good. Colin Ray went from being batting practice last year to he's not that bad at all. 7 scoreless with 9 strikeouts against the Braves. He's got a 3.3 ERA on the season. Good for him. William, that's his 3rd extra base hit and 4th RBI of the game. That seals a double-digit run performance from the Brewers as Milwaukee improves to 63-49. The Braves have lost 3 games in a row. We saw Ellie tee off for 4 extra base hits the game before, and he didn't have 4 extra base hits in this one, but he did have 4 base hits. Tyler Stevenson, he cranked out a dead center home run, and then Ellie, he ripped his first of a couple extra bases, not 4, but even the Marlins infielders are trying to warn, like, hey, they're pointing at him. And Ellie took off anyways. He's in there for his 58th stolen base. TJ Friedl knocked him home, and I hate to cut that swing brief, but Ellie, he's now 3 for 3, another extra base hit, 2 more score, and 2 more score. Sounds like that one TikTok, I'll have 5 whoppers and 5 more whoppers. If you know, you know. Ellie, he clutched up on the defense. He tracked down Derek Hill for the 3rd out in this inning, and Derek Hill is very fast. He's just not all-time fast like Ellie. Ty France make it back-to-back games in a row. He went the other way in back-to-back games. Lodolo, he needed this game as well. He's reminding himself that he's very nasty. 7 strikeouts over 6 innings. Ellie, his speed rushed this next throw. I'm going to skip to this. I'm thinking that Edwards maybe saw him at the corner of his eye rounding second, so he rushes the throw. A run scores. The Reds have won 2 games in a row. They're 5.5 games back of a wild card, so maybe they should have sold. Maybe they're one of the negatives of having a 3rd wild card team. But call me a bad baseball fan. I don't know. I feel like I like the fact that Ellie De La Cruz is still technically in a playoff race. Although 5.5 games is a lot, there's still 50 games left, and they're winning a lot lately. I forgot to show the Orioles game earlier in the video. My bad. Chris Bassett, of course, was very good and locked in when I picked him to give up 3 runs. But lucky for him, newcomer Joey Loperfido and the other outfielders made some insane web gems. Grayson Rodriguez, this is not good. He mouthed, "I don't feel right," before the game even started, so the Royals had to scramble. They had emergency starter Albert Suarez. He was really good. He looked awesome. Same with Bassett as well. They both went 5 scoreless frames when Jackson Holiday, he's just spamming extra base hits now and base hits. That's 3 home runs and 8 RBIs his last 7 games. He and James Wood are figuring it out. We'll talk about James Wood in a second. I feel like I haven't said this name in quite some time. Alejandro Kirk just went yard, a 3-run home run off of Gregory Soto, who has been awful for the Orioles so far. Soto, there he is, allowing 2 more off the bat of Addison Barker. So in the blink of an eye, that's 5 runs. And Soto has allowed 8 earned runs in 1 inning as an Orioles pitcher. Remember what I said about Bassett getting some key web gems? Dalton Varsho, just give him the platinum glove now. Gunnar could not believe that the play was made. Varsho now has 14 outs above average. Now the Orioles, they're not trying to lose this game. The bases are loaded for Jackson. They pinch hit him for Austin Slater. I get it. He mashes lefties, and it kind of worked. I don't know, man. Maybe he laces a base-clearing triple, something like that. Genesis Cabrera was able to reset. He strikes out 2 Orioles in a row before getting Santander to roll over. He's pumped up as Chad Green, I'm not going to show it, but he goes 1-2-3 for his 9th save. The Orioles, they fall to 2nd place in the NL East behind the Yankees. Jackson Holiday is not the only rookie heating up. Elliot Ramos, his thumb is feeling pretty good. That's 16 home runs for the kid, and what a swing from Michael Conforto. First pitch swinging for a 3-run lefty jack. James Wood, I'm going to spoil it now. This is an 11-game on-base streak because Conforto, that was not a great read off the bat, and Wood can fly, so he's around for a triple. His 3rd triple in the last week and a half. He scores on a Travis Blankenhorn RBI groundout. Yes, that is a real name. Jacob Young, any offense from this guy is big time. An RBI single for the defensive wizard. Speaking of wizards and sorcery, What was that? C.J. Abrams? He hit a baseball almost 4.5 feet off the ground for a home run. 17 home runs, 20 stolen bases, a 122 OPS plus. C.J. is a genuine freak. No way that ball should have ever been hit out, but he just got it done. Kybert, he socked out his 9th home run, and if you're a Nationals fan, don't hate me, especially if you're an Alex Call fan. He had 2 RBI doubles, but I'm going to skip to James Wood. My. 425 feet. The rookie is now almost hitting 400 his last 7 games. Jackson Holiday is cracking the code lately. Jackson Chorio, same thing. Jackson Merrill. I'm crossing my fingers that Kyle Manzardo is the next rookie that breaks out. The Nationals win big, 11-5. The Mets got off to a nice start versus the hapless Rockies. Harrison Bader, he's been so good lately. A 290 batting average with 14 RBIs his last 25 starts after driving in 2. But Sevy, he lost an 0-2 count with a runaway slider, and he hits Brendan Rodgers. Chris Bryant makes it to second base after he singled the other way. There was a bad throw in, and wait, they saved the throw. What's going on? Why are they moving? Vientos saved it, but then he lost it on the transfer. Both runners advance. That is a first for me. Iglesias, I'll give him some credit. He made a sick play to rob KB of scoring. That was a perfect bounce pass to save their lead. About the lead, though, Elias Diaz, he punched one the opposite way for a game-tying RBI double. Tyrone Taylor took forever to get it in, and Jake Cave, this was a Coors Field special. I genuinely thought that this was going to be a can of corn pop-up when I was watching and doing my script, and it carried out for a home run. Nimmo made things interesting, but the trend continued. As soon as the Mets scored, the Rockies would score more. Brendan Rodgers had an RBI double. Elias had another RBI. But I just want to shout out the rookie relief pitcher Victor Vodnik, who has now converted 6 consecutive saves in a row. Obviously, 6 consecutive in a row. All right, let's move on to the next game. So the Mets dropped to 4-6 over their last 10, which is crazy because they were one of the best teams in baseball since June 1st. St. Louis, they're right on their heels now, even though Brandon Lau said see ya on one of the worst curveballs I've ever seen from Sonny Gray. Brandon has 40 RBIs despite missing a bunch of games. Late kick, Victor Scott could be a problem. All the credit in the world to I think it's the AAA Cardinals hitting coach, former Cardinal Ryan Ludwig. He saw Jarren Duran and his slugging explode with a leg kick, and he said, Victor, we should try that. Then Victor hit his first career home run off a lefty. Tommy Pham now has 9 RBIs in 8 games in his return to the Cardinals. Sonny Gray was Sonny Gray after the first mistake pitch. He goes 6 scoreless after that first inning blast, and he ended up with 6 strikeouts on the day. Helsley, he wasn't sharp. Again, like, he is legit lowering life expectancies of Cardinals fans everywhere. He did get a foul out and then a strikeout, so momentum is back on his side. But then Johnny DeLuca extended the game with a 2-out single. Man, Helsley needs a big out, and thankfully, Mason Wynn has a big arm. Take that, Justin Turner. We will never forget him calling out Mason Wynn for showing off his arm in the Futures game, a game that didn't even matter. Helsley has 35 saves. Nice. So the Cardinals are just 3 games back of the wild card, while the Cubs are holding on for the last bit of hope, and beating Minnesota is a big confidence booster, I will say. The Twins are really good. From the Rays game to a former Ray, Isaac Paredes, he just hit his first Cubs home run. That was a 3-run wall scraper that's probably way out in Tampa Bay. Isaac then got his 4th RBI after Michael Busch turned on his version of the turbos, all while Shota Imanaga was shredding on the mound. He had 6 strikeouts through 3 1/3. He had 10 retired in a row before it won't be 11 because he walked the on-base god Carlos Santana. And here he goes again, Royce Lewis. He trims the deficit to 2 runs. He's got 14 home runs and 31 RBIs in 34 games. Ian Happ, he's won a couple Gold Gloves. He robs Willie Castro, and the Twins could not return the favor. I don't know if Austin Martin lost that fly ball to the wind or something like that, but it drops in for an RBI triple, and then Dansby, not only does he get the free RBI, but he also scores on a wild pitch, so it's 6-2 for Shota Imanaga, who was not fazed at all by the Royce Lewis home run. He had 10 punch-outs over 7 frames. He's been a godsend for the Cubs this year. Christian Vasquez, that's like that Chris Paul meme. You hit a home run, great, but this game was all Cubs, and I'm going to put the spotlight on Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete is hitting .333 after those 2 RBIs. He has 5 RBIs the last week. He also plays platinum defense. He has 11 DRS and 7 outs above average in just 77 games. The Cubs, they're 6 games back. Do they have hope? Let me know. Well, everyone, that does it for today's recap. I've taken up a lot of your time today, so enjoy the web gems, but after that, go outside.
Ryu to start the year. This one a Bloop. Caught.
Bloop to left, and MJ slides, and did he hang on to it?
He's the best mark in baseball, and that is a great play all the way across the diamond.
This one is on the ground, and that is smothered by Simeon. He hops up.
Machado ground ball, sliding stop, IKF in the dirt. Look at that.
Harper goes the other way. Hernandez